Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the work energy theorem, and now we will do the proof of work energy theorem. The proof of work energy theorem we will do first for a constant force and then for a variable force. Constant force means that throughout the value of the force which is acting on a body is same, and variable force means that the value of force which is acting on a body changes during the time. Now first of all we need to derive the work energy theorem for a constant force. For it, let us consider that we have a body of mass m which is being accelerated by an acceleration a. Now using the third equation of motion we have v square minus u square is equal to 2as. ये आपकी third equation of motion है. Now what we will do? We will multiply it by half m on both sides. We get half mv square minus half mu square is equal to mas. Now in this equation, half mv square is the final kinetic energy, हाफ mu square is the initial kinetic energy. ma क्या होता है? mass into acceleration is force and force into displacement is work done. Therefore mass is equal to work done. Therefore we get the statement that the change in kinetic energy, that is final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, is equal to the work done. Next, we will derive the work energy theorem for a variable force. In this, we will consider that a body of mass m is displaced by a small displacement dx on application of force F. Then the kinetic energy of the body is given by half mv square. Now what we will do? We will do the derivative of the equation. We will have dk upon dt. Now here अगर upon dt है means we are doing the derivation with respect to time. अब देखो इसकी डेरिवेशन में हमारे पास जो राइट हैंड साइड है उसमें हमारे पास जो मास है इट डज नॉट डिपेंड अपॉन टाइम, तो वो यहाँ पे कांस्टेंट होगा. बट जो हमारी वेलोसिटी है, वेलोसिटी डिपेंड्स अपॉन टाइम. वेलोसिटी क्या होता है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट अपॉन टाइम. मींस वेलोसिटी जो है इट इज नॉट अ डायरेक्ट फंक्शन ऑफ टाइम बट इट इज अ इनडायरेक्ट फंक्शन ऑफ टाइम. जब भी आपको डेरिवेटिव निकालना है किसी इनडायरेक्ट फंक्शन का, इनडायरेक्ट मतलब उसमें किसी तरह से दूसरी क्वांटिटी आती है, तो आप कैसे निकालोगे वी स्क्वायर का डेरिवेटिव? पहले सिंपल जो आप रूल लगाते हो एन एक्स रेस्ट पावर एन वाला, एन एक्स रेस्ट पावर एन माइनस वन, उसके पास जो भी आपके पास वेरिएबल होगा, जैसे यहाँ पे हमारे पास है v, तो आप जो आंसर आएगा उसको किससे मल्टीप्लाई कर दोगे? dv बाय dt. सो हियर वी हैव dk अपॉन dt इज इक्वल टू हाफ m इंटू 2v dv अपॉन dt. अब यहाँ पे dv अपॉन dt क्या होता है? एक्सेलरेशन, और मास इंटू एक्सेलरेशन इज फोर्स. So we have dk upon dt is equal to f dx upon dt. dt कैंसिल हो जाएगा, दोनों में इंटीग्रेट करेंगे हम. अब जो f dx है उसका इंटीग्रेशन हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगा? वर्क डन. और जब हम काइनेटिक एनर्जी को करेंगे वी विल हैव kf माइनस ki. सो वी डिराइव टू द वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम. सो दीज आर द टू प्रूफ ऑफ वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम फॉर अ कांस्टेंट फोर्स एंड फॉर अ वेरिएबल फोर्स. स्टूडेंट्स, after doing the proof for work energy theorem, now we are going to start with our next topic, that is potential energy. First of all, we will define what is potential energy. Potential energy is defined as the energy possessed by the body due to its position or due to its configuration. किसी भी बॉडी की पोजीशन या उसकी कन्फिग्रेशन के कारण जो एक बॉडी के अंदर एनर्जी होती है दैट इज नोन एज इट्स पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. नाउ वी विल डिस्कस द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल डिस्कस द एग्जांपल of potential energy due to position. Due to position we can say that a body or a book which is lying at a particular height on a building, that is having a potential energy due to the height or due to its position, or the water which is stored in a dam at a particular height is also having potential energy due to its position. position. Next we will discuss the examples for the potential energy due to its configuration. Now in the configuration we will say, if we have stretched a spring, if we stretch a spring, it has a potential energy due to stretching, that is due to configuration. And when we stretch a bow, before releasing it, we stretch the bow along with the arrow. In that also it has a potential energy due to its configuration. Next we have different types of potential energy. In this, first is gravitational potential energy. A gravitational potential energy is always attractive in nature. It is defined as the potential energy which is associated with two bodies depending upon the separation of the two bodies, and it is always attractive in nature. Second is elastic potential energy, the energy possessed by the body due to compression or extension. किसी की बॉडी को जब हम कंप्रेस करते हैं या एक्सटेंड करते हैं तो एक्सटेंशन और कंप्रेशन के कारण जो उसके अंदर एनर्जी, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी आती है, that is known as elastic potential energy. The third type of potential energy is electrostatic potential energy. The interaction between two charges, कोई भी अगर दो चार्जेस हैं, प्लस दो पॉजिटिव चार्जेस हैं, दो नेगेटिव चार्जेस हैं, या एक पॉजिटिव एक नेगेटिव चार्जेस है, उनकी जो इंटरेक्शन है, that gives rise to the electrostatic potential energy. So this was about potential energy example and types of potential energy. Now we will discuss the expression for the gravitational potential energy. So students, for this we will consider that we are having a block of mass m, and this block is raised to a height h. Now when the block is raised to a height h, work is done against the gravity because the acceleration due to gravity is acting in downward direction, and we are raising this block in upward direction. So in this case the work is done against the gravity. The total जो force है that is acting on the box is the gravitational force, and because we are lifting the box in such a way that it is non-accelerating, means there is no acceleration produced in the block or the box while lifting it to a height h. So the total force which is acting on the block is F is equal to mg. The total displacement is, it is raised to height h, so the total displacement is h. So the work done will be equal to mgh. This work done against the gravity is stored in the body as the gravitational potential energy, and which is represented by U. So we have U is equal to mgh. Next we will talk about the conservative forces. Now the conservative forces are the forces which only depend upon initial and final position, and they are independent of the path followed. मतलब वो किस पे डिपेंड करेंगे, सिर्फ इनिशियल और फाइनल पोजीशन पे, बट आप किस पाथ से जाते हो इनिशियल और फाइनल पॉइंट पे, इट डजंट मैटर्स. कंजर्वेटिव फोर्सेस की डेफिनेशन मैंने आपको पहले भी बताई थी. आज हम ये करेंगे कि जब भी हमारे पास एक कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स है तो जो वर्क डन होता है इन अ कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स over a complete cycle. Over a complete cycle means when a body returns to its initial position, उस केस में जो वर्क डन है कंजर्वेटिव फोर्स का ओवर अ कंप्लीट साइकिल इज 0. इसके लिए हम क्या कंसीडर करेंगे, वी हैव कंसीडर 2 पॉइंट्स A and B, and we consider a particle which is traveling from A to B via path 1. This is your path 1. And it is returning from B to A via path 2, means it is not following the same path while going from A to B and then returning from B to A. Now you students, इसमें एक simple सी बात है, you know that whenever a particle returns to its initial position, its displacement is 0. अगर उसकी displacement 0 है, so work done क्या होता है हमारा, force into displacement, so the work done by the conservative force will also be zero, क्योंकि जो हमारा work है it depends upon displacement and force, and displacement क्या होता है, shortest distance between the two points, means जब भी आपने ये distance नहीं consider करना है कि वो किस path से गया, you only have to consider the displacement, और displacement क्या है, shortest distance between the two points, and the shortest distance between the two points will always remains the same. It is independent of your. Next we are going to discuss the conservative nature of gravitational force, that is the gravitational force only depends upon initial and final points and it is independent of the path which the body follows. For this what we will do, students, we will consider two parts. In first part we will consider that the body is simply lifted by a height h from point A to point B, and second we will say that the body is lifted from point A to E and the height of A to E is same as h, but in this case the body doesn't travel along a straight line but it travels along the path A, B, C, D, E. So in the first part the length AB or the height AB is equal to h. Work done is force into displacement. The force acting on the body is mass into acceleration, and acceleration here acting is acceleration due to gravity. So the value of work done is mgh. Now in the second part, the total work done in lifting the body from point A to E is WAB plus WBC plus WCD plus WDE. Then now the जो work done है हमारा WBC and WED, जो हमारा work done है वो work done होगा हमारा 0, because in this case the displacement and the gravitational force is acting in the downward direction and displacement and gravitational force are perpendicular to each other, तो work done हमारा क्या हो जाएगा 0. So the total work done will be equal to the work done due to AB and CD. अब ये किसके इक्वल होगा, mg इंटू ए बी प्लस सी डी. अब ए बी प्लस सी डी हमारी टोटल हाइट है, दैट इज h. सो द वर्क डन इज इक्वल टू mgh. सो दोनों केसेस में चाहे आप कोई सिंपल पाथ चुनो या आप कोई ट्विस्टेड पाथ चुनो, द टोटल जो हमारा वर्क डन है बाय द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इट रिमेन्स द सेम, दैट इज mgh. means it only depends upon the initial and final point and does not depends upon the path followed. Therefore gravitational force is conservative in nature. Okay students, that's all for today.